minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Director Saldana, thank you for being here. But let me reiterate the fact that, number one, we support the proud enforcement officials that you work with and that you lead. We expect that the overwhelming majority of them are as frustrated as we are in trying to deal with the problem. But our frustration goes up to leadership aspects, even above you, in concerns in making sure that our citizens are safe. We're also concerned with the fact that there are plenty of desiring immigrants who want to come to this country for all the right reasons, that it's more difficult for them to come because of what's going on with these illegals, and especially the ones perpetrating the crimes and the murders in our society. And to get to the accomplishment of having comprehensive immigration reform take place, we have to make sure that our systems are working to keep this terrible, cruel element out of our society. And so let me ask you a question. Information that I have, statistics says that as of August 2014, the administration indicated that over 375,000 aliens and 121,000 Level 1 convicted criminal aliens who the Obama administration deems, and I quote, the worst of the worst, end quote, were removed as a result of the secure communities. Instead of continuing to utilize that successful existing system, the Obama administration ended it and implemented the Priorities Enforcement Program that we're under right now. Why did the administration end a successful program that flags criminal aliens once they're booked into jails?
Sir, we may have to have a discussion of what successful actually means. I think you're aware of the fact that
people living and not dying.
I think you're aware of the fact that we, the United States, have been sued many times because of secured communities. And the fact that there are people that had claims that they asserted in federal court. Some ended up being successful, even though we challenged them. With respect to the implementation of the program, many people are concerned that as a result of secure communities and the way it was implemented, something that was in place before I was actually gone, before I got there, that there was a tremendous controversy about it.
Let me jump on here. During the Secure Communities program that's been ended, how many detainers were issued by ICE but ignored by local law enforcement?
I don't have that number in front of me.
Do you have the number of how many of those ignored detainers resulted in an alien being released and subsequently committing a crime?
No, sir.
Do you have...
Under secure communities, you're asking?
Secure communities.
Yes.
How many of those ignored detainers resulted in additional crimes being committed? Do you have that number?
I don't have it.
Well, you've indicated you want solutions, but it seemed like we'd want these numbers in order to get to those solutions, wouldn't it?
I just don't have them on the top of my head, sir. They're available. We can probably find them. It may take a manual search of our records, but and some time, but we can. The fact that I can't answer that right now shouldn't undermine my point about wanting to do something positive in this area.
Well, I'd like to have those numbers provided for our committee. And whether it's the week that you initiated, you said about the letters or not, we'd like it as quickly as possible. Why is the federal government satisfied with localities coming in contact with removable aliens and then not collecting sufficient information, records, fingerprints, etc.?
Well, that is happening. And when you say removable aliens, no alien is removable until we have a court order. So they go through a very, sometimes years in the making process, a very long process, to make that determination. I will tell you, though, you know that Secured Communities, that program, was replaced by the Priority Enforcement Program, where we work with all of these state and local jurisdictions. That's what I did as a United States Attorney. We relied on local law enforcement, not only police departments, but sheriff's departments to assist us, and we do that.
And aren't there stipulations for them to provide the information to you, and such as fingerprints on these people?
There's a provision in the statute that talks about cooperation from them, not specifically fingerprints, but cooperation.
So cooperation would include information that is necessary for protecting our citizens, correct?
It could.
It could. Well, maybe that's why this hearing is being held today, and hopefully information will come out so that families won't be seated in the room again, because there's indication that we have not done what's necessary to protect them. And that's my concern. And again, it's not the ICE agents. It's administration that isn't doing what's necessary, or at least pushing for the funds, the resources, the systems in place to make sure that we have that capability. And that's my concern. That's not a charge. That's a request. Help us to do the right thing, but in turn, don't give us the excuses. And I yield back.
Another party, though, is the Congress, sir, and you could help us by...
I think we have helped you with plenty of things. We've asked questions today about why you haven't used some of those resources, why there hasn't been the pushback on other countries, why there hasn't been a request for dollars to put toward the programs that keep these people off the streets as opposed to other entities. And I yield back my time.
Gentleman's time's expired. The chair now recognizes